What's up, guys? Thanks for joining another episode of Fantasy Football Wrap-Up. We got a good show for you tonight, guys. We're going to be kind of giving you a little player update, some risers, some fallers, just kind of a recap of all the shows we've done. It's just about draft time. A lot of you guys have drafts this weekend, and ours is next weekend. So
exciting time of the year.
It is.
It's like Christmas for football fans.
It changes, boy. I mean, right from the top 5 to the middle to the end, this changes all over the place. This is going to be a kind of a recap and just kind of get you guys back to where you guys should be. So we got social media links below, Twitter, Facebook. Check us out. We're blowing up Twitter right now. We got some cool stuff on the show today, and let's get right into it. I just kind of want to hit on the top 5 real quick, especially the top 2. I'm still amazed that you people are having questions on who you should draft number 1. If you guys could put a comment below and explain to me why you think Lev Bell or anybody else over David Johnson should be the starter.
I still don't understand that.
He's not even scheduled to play. He hasn't even hit preseason. He's not even signed a contract. Why should he even be?
He'll be I week 1, but he's just not going to be in game shape right away.
He gets hurt. He's played 16 games once in his career. Like, guys, it's David Johnson. Any draft, any league, keeper, definitely. Whatever.
2 quarterbacks, keeper, everything.
It's David Johnson, period, end of discussion. We're moving on to the next one. All right? And I'll say, it might even be right there with Lev Bell, right at 2, because, in our opinion, I don't know if even Lev Bell is the number 2 anymore.
No, I would take Brown.
I'd like to take Brown,
we play PPR, so in standard, maybe you go Bell. But
you probably do.
I would take Brown in a PPR league over.
I would too.
Because I know Brown's going to give me what he gives you.
You know, he's probably not going to get hurt. He's going to be there for 16 games. Exactly. I think you can make that case. In our league, we think that's what's going to happen.
You know, and Brown scored 400 fantasy points in a season before. Yeah. In PPR leagues. So.
Yeah. He did 450 2 years ago in 2015 in our league.
We also give bonuses for a 40-yard touchdown.
Yeah, so that's probably a little bit higher.
Up, but I mean, he's over 400 in that league. So.
Right. So, and then we have Lev Bell 3rd, and then right there, again, like, Elliott's gone. He's out of the first round.
Oh, yeah, he's out of the first and second round, in my opinion.
Yeah, so. and me, it's probably middle of the 3rd, maybe 4th.
So
for me personally, other people I know it's different. This is a widely discussed topic. Yeah. For us, it's out in any league, whatever. But in Odell Beckham, what happens? He just got hurt.
Had an MRI yesterday, I think.
I think it was a couple days ago.
Yeah, but I think yesterday he had an MRI after saying he was healthy after the game. Yeah. On Monday night, he said he's fine. Right. Then the next day he has an MRI. I haven't heard the results yet, so I can't speak on that. But.
Yeah. And boy, I wish I could not draft him because he is such a drama queen. Oh. And did you see him in the locker room, hunched over with a towel once the cameras are on him? I mean, oh my God. But the man is just so talented.
Insane. He's sick.
But is he up there now? Is it Johnson, Brown, Bell? Is it Odell? Do you take him with? He's got an ankle. Right now, might not be broken, but those linger.
Right now, he missed 6 games or 4 games the first year he came in the league, and still had 1,200 yards that year.
He's still a monster.
So I still take him over Julio.
Right.
Only because I think when he's on the field, you're getting 20 points automatically. See, Julio has games where he goes to 1 point.
Right.
Like, he got 60 in a game, then the next week he followed up at 1.9. Like, you can't do that in fantasy football because that's just so frustrating.
Right. The thing is, he gets you 60, so he's high. So we go David Johnson, Lev Bell. In our league, it's Antonio Brown. Yeah. I'm sorry, at 2. Then Lev Bell at 3. Yeah. Odell at 4. Julio probably at 5. If you're a standard league, maybe you bump McCoy up there because, again, a change right there. Now that they made that big trade and Watkins is out of there, the guy they got from Philly that tripped over himself, I think, walking in the building and got hurt, right? And got a bruise chip in his sternum and his crotch. So, LaShawn McCoy, they got rid of Gillislee as his back. He's going to get a crap load of work. He might get as many touches as David Johnson. I just don't think he can handle the workload. Yeah. But he's rising up. AJ Green, Mike Evans is really close now. That was a big change.
Yeah, it surprised me. So we did a 2 quarterback league draft last week. Yep. And I ended up getting Mike Evans and AJ Green my first 2 picks, then Winston and Mariota my second 2. Yeah. I got Evans is projected like 16 a week at PPR. It is fascinating to me how they project Julio for like 22. Right. And then Evans, who gets 30 red zone targets a game, is projected 16. Right. Like the most targeted wide receiver in football. Right. And then you have the least targeted wide receiver in the red zone.
And I know they say they want to get Julio more touches in the red zone. We'll see if that happens.
They said that every year.
Right.
You know who's getting the touches in the red zone? Freeman.
Freeman's going to get the workload. Freeman has worked up my board personally over maybe even Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, he is over Gordon.
Over Howard, over Murray, all those guys. He's really shot up.
He's right there with McCoy for me. Honestly,
I don't like him that high.
I know he's not that high
he's
for
just
you,
enough
but for me, because I don't have a shot at McCoy,
right?
So I look at him as he's the best back after.
He's definitely the best back after McCoy, because I think he's going to start getting 20, 25 touches.
Yeah,
and I think that's really going to make him that next level guy.
Oh yeah,
he's going to make him the RB5.
He'll be your first round pick next year if he's not in your league this year.
He was RB1 2 years ago, the RB6 last year.
He's going to be a top 5 this year.
I think he's going to be a top 5 this year again, and he stays reasonably healthy.
Yeah.
Right, and if not, you can always go.
It's amazing to me that he does this too, because they have Telvin Coleman on that team, and it doesn't even affect him.
Yep.
Like, he still goes to top first and then sixth.
Yeah.
I know the first year I think Coleman was hurt all year.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
That's why he got the job. He got hurt.
Yeah. So, because I think Coleman was originally supposed to be the starter there.
Right.
And Freeman ended up winning the job because of injuries.
Yep.
But
yeah,
I don't know. I love
Green, Evans, and Gordon is 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Freeman at 9 rather, and then you got Gordon. We got Jody Nelson, DeMarco Murray, Jordan Howard. Those in any kind of an order here in the second round. The guy I want to talk about, I think there's 2 people moving in the second round quite a bit that we should talk about. And this is going to be a wide range on the second guy, so I'm going to go with Dez first because of Elliott.
Yeah.
I think Dez has really moved up.
He is moving up.
I think Dak's going to get worse. Because they're going to have to throw more often, because that running game I don't think is going to be that great with McFadden.
I don't know. See, I don't want to pin him to he's going to be worse right now, because I've never seen him have to sit there and make the throws. Right. I know that Green Bay game, everyone goes, oh, well, you had to throw there. Well, they had a lead 3 different times. The defense just couldn't stop a nosebleed, so that's why they lost that.
But having a lead once or twice in a game is different than having to carry the team on your
back.
When the defense knows it. You know, so I think Dez is going to get more targets. He might not be efficient.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to get more targets. It's going to give him that extra 2-3 catches, the extra 20, 30 yards to make him, a top second round pick instead of a late second, early third. I think he has moved up. The other guy that he's replacing where they've really switched to me, and I know you, is T.Y. Hilton.
Oh God, T.Y. Hilton.
If you're drafting a player,
right now, T.Y. Hilton, in my opinion, is undraftable because Andrew Luck has.
Top.
No, I'm not drafting.
It's up top.
I'm letting you know right now he will not be on my team, and I love T.Y. Hilton. It's just the fact that Andrew Luck, what the hell is this guy's problem?
I don't know.
Like, he hasn't even been cleared to throw a football yet, and it starts in like a week and a half.
He hasn't thrown a ball yet,
He's throwing tennis balls in the locker room.
Right.
So maybe he should go switch to play tennis.
He's going on the pup list.
No,
he hasn't even thrown a ball in practice. Forget about preseason game, and they think he might be ready for week 1. No. Are you nuts? That's never happening.
I think Jim Irsay's doing some of his own stuff.
I think so. It's not happening. If he's not on the pup list, he's at least missing the first
couple games.
First 2 or 3 at least. I think if they go on the pup list and run him conservatively, try to take care of him. We talked about it last week on a player update show where their first round pick last year was a center. He's down for the year on IR. Their backup center is hurt and their left tackle is hurt.
Oh yeah.
That was the strength of that offensive line, if you call that off anything in that offensive line of strength.
And knowing the Colts, and sorry Colts fans out there, you guys know this because it's your team.
Right.
The ownership's going to rush Andrew Luck back. They're going to give him no offensive line. He's going to get sacked 8 or 9 times a game.
He's going to take a beating.
He's going to get injured by week 6.
Yeah, I think that's why they don't do it. I think they're going to be smart about it this time. But,
I hope so.
But, I mean, Frank Gore, T.Y. Hilton, Jack Doyle had as a sleeper on my sleeper show.
Yeah, he's hard to take now.
Forget about that. He's irrelevant.
Although sometimes the backups like the tight ends.
Maybe because they're captain check down, so maybe Gore still has some value, but buyers beware on Hilton.
Oh yeah, buyers don't. There's no insurance for him either because you're not going to draft Moncrief around 5 or 6 where he's going.
No. Now, to me, Doug Baldwin is higher than T.Y. Hilton. Clearly, Mike Thomas, he's blowing way past him.
Oh, yeah.
To me, I think Hilton is tough to even take until about the 4th, 5th round.
Well, for me, one of the guys that I think is one of the biggest risers is Doug Baldwin, who you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Another guy that we talk about in the underrated shows and the wide receivers.
Yep.
Him and Jordy Nelson don't get love.
Nope.
Maybe it's just because they're not 6'5" and can run at 40 and 4.2.
Maybe
that's why.
Maybe.
But Doug Baldwin, he's open almost every time. Whenever I see Russell Wilson drop back to pass, and you see that pass go, it's like, well, where's Baldwin? It's going to Baldwin.
Had a great preseason game the other night against Minnesota too. He's really, really good.
He's like a Steve Smith that doesn't get Steve Smith, recognition.
Yeah.
Back in Carolina.
Yeah.
He's that gritty type of receiver.
Yeah.
that'll go up and
He doesn't get the big flashy name.
No,
it doesn't say Des Bryant, but a lot of people know who he is. But he will help you lead you to fantasy championships.
He will finish with more points than T.Y. Hilton this year.
Yeah. If you can get him in the third round, you should jump all over that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a no-brainer as well.
Yeah, I wish I would get him in the third round, but I'm not going.
Right. I pick in the middle, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get him.
Yeah.
And I would love to get him.
Yeah.
I would love it.
Trust me, I would too.
You know, Julius Thomas, Demarius Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins seem to be moving up in some ADPs. I don't know why.
I know why on Thomas.
No, you're going to say why.
I'm going to tell you why.
And I'm going to disagree
He had a good year. He didn't have a great amount of touchdowns. I understand that.
Right.
He still had 1,000 yards, 90 catches, led the team in targets, and they just named that quarterback as a starter. I understand
That's exactly what he was last year.
It's better of the two evils.
You're right.
You're
right.
You got the quick bullet to the head versus being tortured. Right. That's what happened.
Right.
So, but with Demarius Thomas, I still think he catches 90 balls for 1,000 yards, maybe 6-7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So he's still going to be an option in the fourth round or third round where his ADP is. He's still a viable option.
His ADP right now is beginning of the third round. That is absolutely
well, I'm telling you right now, whatever ADP you have is wrong, because any mock drafts I've done, he's there for me at the back of the third round.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've seen that too.
And I like him there.
But recent drafts are showing he's going in the middle.
I understand, yeah.
Like in my pick in the middle of the third. That is ludicrous.
No,
ludicrous.
Well, that would mean you have to take him over Baldwin, and I wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't.
I would take him over Hilton. I would. I'm not joking. I would take him over Hilton.
Maybe. At least you know what you're going to get.
Exactly, and he's going to be on the field.
DeAndre Hopkins, they named Savage the starter. I don't
like.
He didn't do anything last year when Savage took over for Osweiler. Well, he didn't get any better. He didn't start having big games when Savage came in.
No, he didn't.
It's not going to change.
The reason why he was so good that first year is he had so many targets.
Right. Because it was garbage time. Because the defense, Watt was hurt. That was the
year he was getting like 14 targets a game.
Right.
And he was just catching 6 of them and getting a touchdown. So, he isn't a very good rate. He doesn't have a good rate of catch.
Right.
It's like,
you
know what I mean? It's just he needs targets to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand.
And that garbage time helped him when he had Hoyer there.
Yeah.
That was the year Clowney was hurt. Watt went down. They had no pass rush.
That defense is good now. They want to run the ball. I know we talked about Miller in the last one, but it's going to be Miller and Foreman. They want to run the ball.
Yeah.
And they're going to throw to, Fedorowicz.
Right.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
it's the New England offense. They don't ever have one guy.
Right.
That's why when you see it, it's like Julian Edelman is so good at New England's offense. There's no way in hell that he's better than Demarius Thomas or any of these guys. Why does he have numbers at the end of the year similar to some of these guys? It's because he does the system.
Yeah.
No, I'm using it. I'm not saying it as
I got you.
What I'm saying is at the end of the year, the numbers look better than they actually are.
Right.
Because it's a system.
Right.
Hopkins doesn't fit that system.
No.
So, he's not a tight end last I checked. That's who fits the system.
Right.
Fedorowicz is a good tight end to have, and he goes so late.
I think he's rising up the boards a little bit because Fuller went down.
Jalen
Strong, who could be a nice little late-run sleeper for you, but
he's never done anything yet, so I'll believe it when I see it.
Right. Well, now he's going to be forced to be the number 2.
That's fine.
But I think that's why he's gone up. Leonard Fournette is the guy we think is going down. We were behind him anyway. Bortles is ridiculous. The whole Jacksonville team, how about this? How about just don't draft him?
Allen Robinson moved from like a 3rd round pick to the 6th round on ADPs right now.
The defense,
it's so bad.
Fournette, all of them, they're all going to be bad.
I know.
That defense is going to be on the field so much they're going to get tired.
Stay
away from the whole team.
I know you blame the quarterback for all Robinson's issues. I blame Robinson a little bit. I think he's checked out. I don't even think he's starting the season.
I think he's so tired of.
He's already thinking about the offseason and where he's going to sign his next contract.
I would be too if I was in that goddamn place.
No, I understand that, but
he's in the worst. First, he's in the worst part of Florida. Jacksonville's a dump,
right?
Like and Blake Bortles is your guy. Like the guy's running wide open, he's taking hits.
Well,
and the guy's throwing the ball.
Is Chad Henne?
It's like the receivers in Philly when McNabb was the quarterback, and they do a swing pass, and he's wide open, and he ducks it at their feet, and they're like, "Come on, man!" Like. I just think he's frustrated.
Well, Chad Henne hit him in the numbers in the game, and he dropped the touchdown.
Right.
So.
Right. Although now, a lot of the top other guys we like in these, first 2-3 rounds, I think all the rest have kind of stayed the same.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, Kels, 3rd, 4th round, all that.
Pryor,
I think, for us is up in the 3rd round. We've been talking about Pryor in the 3rd round, 4th round for a long time.
I've been doing my best to shoot Pryor's ADP up as high as he can because I think he's so good.
Yeah.
I don't even like him. Like, I didn't like him coming out as a quarterback.
You didn't like him last year.
I didn't like him last year.
You didn't like him at all.
What it is, I love Kirk Cousins. And that's what it comes down to.
Right.
And by no means am I a Washington fan, but I love Kirk Cousins.
Right.
Most underrated quarterback, and I'll say that until I die.
Right.
But
speaking of quarterbacks, there's quarterbacks that seem to be falling.
Yeah.
And don't read too much into it if you see the ADPs on Rodgers and Brady and Ryan and all of a sudden start dropping a half round to a round. It's really just where they should be. They were really up high.
Yeah.
Rodgers had some ADPs like in the mid-2s, early 3s. Like that is...
There's a reason why Matthew Berry gets paid millions of dollars a year to talk about fantasy
don't.
football, because his first thing on that 24-hour show they did or whatever was, don't draft quarterbacks early.
No.
And as soon as you say that, all the ADP falls on the quarterbacks.
They were.
Now they're where they belong in the 4th and 5th rounds.
Yeah.
You don't want to kill
Matt
your
Ryan
team.
probably now in the 6th with Breeze and those guys.
Yes.
And everybody just seems to be pushed down kind of where they should be.
I mean, if you want to draft a quarterback early, I'll make a league and we can play in the same league.
Right. We would love it.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye on that. There's nothing wrong with those guys. You shouldn't be taking them for the 4th round. Really. Christian McCaffrey I want to hit on real quick.
Yeah.
We talked about him in our rookie video. I wasn't as high on him as you and the Rickster was. Rick seems to love him. He walks on water.
I like him. I don't love him.
I love him. I just don't love his quarterback. And
I like the quarterback this year. This is what's weird for me because I've never liked Cam Newton before in any other season, but for some reason I think they're going to go to a shorter passing game. Maybe it does help McCaffrey out.
If they do, it definitely does. He's just never done it. He doesn't like to check down. He likes to chuck it deep to Benjamin, and we had to get him there. Like that was his thing.
Yeah, but they don't have. Well, they have Curtis Samuel, I think his name is. Who's the speedy guy that they have.
They're all playing this week in the preseason games.
Oh, that's going to be good. That'll be fun to see. But
yeah, Cam, all of them. They're all playing this week. Let's see.
Cam Newton should be sitting out right now. I would want him to take a shot if I'm a Panthers fan or a fantasy owner.
It's great for us. So in preseason game 3, it's really the dress rehearsal.
It's awesome.
Belichick said they like to prepare like it's a real game, real strat.
We're gonna have a review show on the preseason after next week. We're gonna do something like that next week because
we'll talk about more on it. But if you have a thing where you have watch game 3 of the Panthers. Let's see if he's checking down because he looks amazing. You know what else looked amazing last year was Derek Anderson played, and I had Greg Olsen, and he had like 12 catches for 100 yards and like 2 touchdowns. And then whatchamacallit comes back in, and he doesn't even throw to him.
I know.
So
I remember because I traded for him like 2 weeks later, and then I'm watching Monday Night Football. I need 4 points on Greg Olsen. He got 3.8, and who's running down the sidelines wide open on a 4th and 1 they need to convert. Not one person near him, and what does he do? He takes the sack.
Yeah.
Doesn't even just chuck it down.
He doesn't like to check down to the tight end or seam routes.
But he was running the route he loves to throw. He was running straight down the field with no one near him.
So I don't know if he's going to maybe you're right. Maybe they go to if they go, and their philosophy is to go to the short passing game.
Yeah.
I think McCaffrey in probably the 5th or 6th round is where I see his ADP.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about maybe a top 10.
Well, he definitely has that potential. That top 10 potential.
I think he could be.
He could catch 80 balls this year.
I think
And he could have 80 balls and close to 1,000 yards rushing. I don't think he's going to hit 1,000, but he could get 6, 7.
He could be
7, 800 probably.
Right.
To be honest with you, with probably the same amount receiving. Mm-hmm. You could be looking at 1,500 yards total offense.
If they go to the short passing game, and I want to stress that.
Yes.
This is what I would think he would do. And I would draft him definitely 5th round, maybe 4th.
Yeah.
I think he does the Devonta Freeman 2 years ago where nobody knew who he was.
Yeah.
And he is now a top 5
Except he has way more hype coming in.
He has a lot of hype, he does. But he can run, he can kick return, he can catch, he can
he's
catch 80
so
balls.
electric.
He's a poor man's David Johnson. I don't think he'll get that much because he's not that good, but I think he could be a top 6 running back in this league next year.
He's not even the best one of McCaffrey's sons either because the quarterback's better.
And he might be a top 5 pick next year in this draft.
Yeah.
If they go to that short passing game and they use him right.
Yeah.
Because we all know Stewart is getting hurt. He has every year, I think, since he came in his career.
He might already be.
He might already be hurt. Because he's not even playing in the preseason. So he might already be hurt. And if that's the case, he is going to explode. Cam Newton is the reason why I don't like him.
I still like Dalvin Cook better. That's just for me. Because I'm a big Dalvin Cook guy this year.
And to me, they're both in that same 5th, 6th round.
Mm-hmm. And you might even be able to get them if you're a swing pick. You might be able to get both those backs as your running backs.
You might.
And you could strike fantasy gold.
You could.
I mean, you could be looking at 2 guys that are 18 points a week, 20 points a week. And
you can take shots in the 5th and 6th round. That's where you probably should start taking some gambles right there.
That's where you should start taking the gambles on those types of
safer. Like those are safe gambles. Don't gamble on Kareem Hunt in the 6th round. But
no. But if Keenan Allen falls to you, take him. Right. You know what I mean? Like the late 4th, early 5th, take him there.
Right, because you're not getting Doug Baldwin's and safe guaranteed picks in those rounds. So take a shot on those guys. Keenan Allen could be a top 5. McCaffrey, Cooks, all those guys. That's where I kind of want to see them go. What do you think of the Miami situation with Cutler going in there? It looks like he likes to throw to Devontae Parker. That's why
he's came on and said Devontae Parker's a faster Alshon Jeffrey. So to me, boom. I know Devontae Parker is the guy I want now.
He had a good year last year too, so it ain't like he's a no-name.
And he's a big-bodied guy, and that's who Cutler likes. I feel bad for Jarvis Landry because I don't think he
doesn't like those low possession receivers.
He never, he'll throw it to Eddie Royal back in the day. I mean, Landry, let's not make a mistake, is way better than Eddie Royal was.
Right.
I mean, he's tied with Odell for the most catches for the first 3 seasons in history of football. So, but I don't see him hitting 100 catches this year. I don't see the 90 catches. I see him right around 80 for like 890 yards, maybe 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns. Like almost the same thing.
But I think Devontae Parker could get 1,200 yards.
Yeah.
But the best part about Devontae Parker is he's like 2 or 3 rounds later than Landry in some of these drafts.
Yeah.
So, if I can get him at a better deal, I definitely do that.
Yep.
And Parker is the guy there. Don't make the mistake. I'm still going to shoot the don't draft Ajayi train because I just hate Ajayi this year for some reason. He does. Everyone's like, oh, he's such a good pass catcher. He averaged like 1.5 catches a game. He was like 4th worst against the starting running backs.
But Case and Case, whatever his name is, the coach, and when the last 2 times those 2 were together, that's when Matt Forte had his big year.
Yeah, well, Matt Forte can also catch a football.
Yeah, they love
watching Ajayi catch a football. It's like he's like running with the ball.
He did it the other night. We'll see how he does this weekend in these games here. Just like Devontae Parker's ADP, he's right around 8 to the 9th round.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good pick
there.
Your
league size. In the 9th round, you get a guy that could give you 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. I mean, there's nothing
I would take that.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be your flex player. What's wrong with that?
So we'll get into some risers right now that I like. Mariota is my favorite quarterback in this draft. Maybe not player because that's Terrell Pryor.
Right.
But my favorite quarterback in this draft is Marcus Mariota.
Yep.
Because the upside with this guy running, passing, he hasn't even taken the next step yet, and he's been elite last year. Before he got hurt, don't make the mistake. People just don't realize. The end of the year stats don't show that he missed 2 games.
Right.
They just show that he didn't score as much as Breeze and these guys.
Right.
He's not going to outscore Breeze. He doesn't throw that much. Right. But he can get 30 touchdown passes and run for 6.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing as throwing 36.
Yeah.
He could do a Cam Newton season from a couple years ago.
He could.
He has that potential. Only thing that's going to hold that up is the weapons. I don't know if Decker stays healthy all year.
Right. Probably not.
Davis, he's never been healthy in college, so I mean, he's
dinged up right now.
Rashard Matthews is just a solid receiver. He's not going to break the world.
Right.
He's a flex player, but
unless Decker goes down, then he goes to probably about a wide receiver 3.
But if Davis takes off like they think he's going to do, watch out for Mariota because he could be a top 5 quarterback this year. I actually think he will be a top 5. I'll go and say that. I think he is a top 5 quarterback at the end of the season.
Okay.
So, for me, I have him right at 5th. But if you get a top 5 quarterback where you're drafting him versus, Breeze, all these guys, you're only going to score 2 or 3 points less a week than those guys.
Right.
So, it makes no sense to draft them 2 or 3 rounds earlier for the 2 more points when you can make that up with a player there.
Right.
So, look at Mariota. Just take a long look. Whatever dislike you have for him, I know I have dislike for players, put it aside and look at what he does when he plays.
Right.
He was 30 a week in our league.
He was amazing. You told me to pick him up. I did. I was trying to get some other guys. I had luck. I picked him up anyway. And
he'll outscore Luck.
Luck had a bye week.
He'll
had a bye week, and I needed someone new. Go take a look at Mariota. I picked him up. Ended up trading Luck and keeping him. He rode me until he got hurt.
Yeah, you went all the way through the play. Yeah, when he got hurt, with the playoffs. Otherwise, you'd have a good shot at going to the championship. Yeah. But I love him this year.
What else you got?
We got Doug Baldwin, who we already touched on.
Yep.
Golden Tate. Another guy that we play PPR, so anyone that plays standard, you're probably laughing at this.
Right.
But Golden Tate in a PPR league is insane.
Right.
Nobody likes him.
His
ADP's starting to shoot up now a little bit. But he could potentially be, he's only going to get you 6 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns, but he can give you Landry numbers.
Right.
And you're getting him after Landry.
Yeah.
They're literally the same player, in my opinion.
Except
the only difference is he's a lot better quarterback passing.
Yeah.
Stafford, he's a gunslinger, and I hate him in fantasy because he kills you with interceptions.
Yep, when he's out.
But he is not afraid, and Golden Tate is his favorite target.
He is.
So he will throw it. You've seen Calvin Johnson when he was there.
Yeah.
He didn't care who was covering him, where he was, he chucked it
anyway. Now, different style, clearly, but last year they switched offenses midway through the season.
Oh, yeah.
It's why Marvin Jones was on fire early, then disappeared.
Yep.
And Golden Tate came on because they went to a short passing
Golden Tate got healthy at that point, too.
Yeah,
so
true.
that's another thing.
But they got a new coordinator. It's almost like a West Coast almost style. It's a short passing game.
Definitely.
It fits those two guys beautifully. If you're in PPR and you get this guy around 4, 5, or 6. Right now he's going around.
He's going around 6. Like he's going 6 and 7 is where I've seen him go.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna do more than Jamison Crowder is gonna do in Washington, and you're gonna get him after that.
Yes, probably.
So, like, why would you risk it? Jamison Crowder is the number 2. This is a number 1.
Yep.
This is what nobody realizes. They see 5'10" wide receiver, and they're like, oh yeah, we're not taking him. He's a slot receiver.
Yeah.
No, this guy plays everywhere.
Yeah.
He lines up in the backfield. He lines up at the number 1, the number 2, the number 3.
Yep.
And he'll. On third down, that guy gets targeted no matter where he is.
I agree.
Because Eric Ebron was the biggest bust I've seen.
He will have a better year than Jarvis Landry, who you just mentioned,
Yep.
and he'll have a better year than Julian Edelman.
Oh, there's no question about
Well,
it.
I think 2 of the better slot receivers in the league.
Yeah, and he's going to be better, and you're going to get him around the same as Edelman, but you'll get him after Landry.
Who else we got?
So I got Larry Fitzgerald next.
Yeah.
Who, the only reason why he's on this list is because John Brown can just not stay healthy.
That sickle cell thing's really going to hurt him. He's got some quad problems.
I mean,
some soft tissue damage.
It stinks because he's so fast and so good.
He's very talented. 2 years ago, he was really great. Problem is, I don't know. It might hurt him for a while.
Then I got Danny Woodhead here, who is the number 1 back, and nobody really likes this guy for some reason.
Right. Well, because if you're standard league, he's probably useless.
Again, this is all predicated on PPR. So, him in PPR, he's an 80-catch type of back.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to run for 800 yards.
Right.
But he's going to catch 800. He'll get you 1,200 yards, and he is so good in the red zone.
Yeah.
It's one of his most underrated things. Phillip Rivers would throw to him over Gates at certain times. So
way underrated on that.
Wicked
very
underrated.
Small, sneaky.
Yep.
He could be a top 12, top 13.
Oh, easily. He's going to be an RB1 if he stays healthy all year. That's the big if.
Right.
He doesn't do that normally, but if he does, he's an RB1 with the situation that Baltimore has.
No question.
Joe Flacco will target him till his arms fall off.
Yeah, he has no problem throwing quarterbacks. He's in a good spot over there.
And then finally, I have Cameron Meredith out of Chicago.
Oh, yeah?
I like the number 1 receiver there.
Yep.
He was great last year, even with bad quarterbacks. I think Glennon's a little bit better, and I think Trubisky will get the starting eventually.
I think so,
too. But
too.
Trubisky looks good. So...
Boy, was I wrong on him.
Oh, me too. But he looked good.
Right.
So Cameron Meredith is actually going to have someone that can throw a football this year. Not Matt Barkley or any of these jokes that he had last year. Brian Hoyer was a good quarterback, but every time he dropped back the pass, he was injured. So
I agree.
Mark Sanchez, whatever he had.
Yep.
So I just like Meredith this year as a riser. So
keep an eye on Stephon Diggs. He's been having he doesn't stay healthy very well. We were never super high on him, but he's kind of been creeping up my board a little bit.
Touchdowns is what it is for me with him.
It is, but Sleeves loves throwing to him. And if he's healthy, he's fast, he's a good possession receiver. He could be a sneaky little 6th, 7th round pick.
Yeah.
And keep an eye. I know you hear this name a lot too, and I was always like, what are these people seeing? And it's Bilal Powell.
Oh yeah.
And I know you shouldn't be thinking of the Jets in a fantasy player. Like those 2 words are like water and fire. They don't go together.
Especially this year.
And but. He is when he got the last 4 games. You go back and look at the stats of the last 4 games. He was really productive.
He's a pass catcher too, so.
And they're going to be behind in every game because they blew up that defense. They blew up the offense. They have no quarterback.
No. So and I think Forte's hurt as it is right now.
Yeah, I think he's going to get 5 to 7 catches a game.
Yeah, probably.
I think he's 5 for 60 every game.
Yeah.
I think in PPR, I think he's going to get you 10, 11 points just in receiving. And he'll throw in 40, 50 yards.
Yeah,
and
so
then
you
he'll
get you 14, 15 points.
And then a touchdown every other week. I think he's 15 to 20, somewhere on that ballpark, depending on the week.
Yeah, he goes so late too.
Yeah, and you get another guy. This 5th, 6th, 7th round's getting crowded.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? It's a really deep draft. If you like running backs, keep an eye out. If Forte goes down, you should jump all over this guy. Maybe you should anyway, because then he'll start getting your carries and your catches. So. Someone I'd like to keep an eye on. Give me some misses.
Andrew Luck, we talked about him last time. He is not even on my draft board.
Yeah, and we don't even know if he's even going to be healthy.
You want to talk about Elliott missing 6 games? This guy might not even play.
He might not.
Like we said earlier today, it's like tennis balls is what he's throwing.
Right.
It's not even a football.
Right.
So, I mean, if he can't even throw a football yet, we're going into week 3 of the preseason.
Right.
This isn't like week 1,
and
it's week 2 or 3 of training camp.
Right.
No, this is time to start panicking if you've already made your draft and Andrew Luck's your quarterback.
Yeah.
Or even worse, you're in a 2-quarterback league and Andrew Luck's one of your quarterbacks, and you don't have a backup like some of the people in the league that we do.
Right.
You're in trouble. You might have a pup-less quarterback, and you might be stuck with whoever the backup is there.
Yeah, you better get on someone now, and don't handcuff with their backup quarterback. Because if you can even give me his name, I'd give you $5.
Is it Scott Toline or something like that?
I couldn't even tell you. I could not even tell you.
But yeah, and then Elliott for me, just based on the suspension, it will change. He won't be on my fallers if it goes below 4 games.
Right.
So he gets 3. I still think he's a first-round pick.
Yeah.
But right now, you have no choice but to put him on the fallers list because you can't draft him in the first 2 rounds. You're almost forfeiting your season unless you draft amazing the rest of the way.
You've got to be good.
You have to be good, and
you have to hit them all. You have to hit on a lot.
And I've done it before, where I take McFadden in the 7th or 8th round, so the person can't get him that has Elliott.
Right.
And then then what do? I'll trade him to another team that needs a running back or something like that.
Right.
Just because that person is so far behind that took Elliott
in
the first round, especially when you take him over McCoy.
Yeah.
You take him over even the second round, Howard, Gordon. These guys are there for 16 games.
It puts you at a spot where all of a sudden you're behind on all the guys you normally like. Yeah. You gambled on him. Now, what if your theory was I'm going to gamble on him, I'm going to gamble on McCaffrey, I'm going to gamble on Cook. Now you got 3 running backs you're gambling on.
I know.
If you don't hit, you're out. You're done.
Hopefully you're not playing in a paid league.
You better hope it's a dynasty league. A keeper league, and you get these guys next year.
Dynasty league's a little bit different. He is still you're not drafting him this year.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go that far because of
you've already had your drafts. And he's on your team, so just trade him or keep him.
Right.
But
see how long the suspension is.
Yeah, and that's going to be everything. Because I think it does get dropped down a little bit. I think it gets to 4.
Yeah, me too.
So,
give me a couple more.
I got Mixon and Peterson as the next 2.
Yeah,
Mixon's falling because for some reason Jeremy Hill just won't give that job up.
No,
all of a sudden he wants to be a running back.
Yep.
And Adrian Peterson, I don't think the guy's played in preseason yet.
I agree.
So
no, he has not.
He hasn't played yet.
Kamara is playing there, and he looks amazing.
I know.
Amazing.
I'd be worried about making the team if I was Peterson.
I would too.
Because he isn't even playing.
I agree.
How can you show the coaches something if you're not on the field?
I don't know what the cap casualty is for him, but you got a guy in Ingram who usually stays healthy.
Yep.
He is not a need. They didn't bring Peterson in because he always gets hurt.
Yeah.
Right? So if you can have him and then back him up with Kamara as your 3rd down back or your back. I don't know why they need Peterson. It was a dumb sign to begin with. I never understood it, but I agree with you. He's fallen for me.
You got a couple quarterbacks that you want to talk about?
Well, I think a few guys have fallen. Obviously, the Andrew Luck thing we got. The quarterbacks just in general, I think we hit on earlier. I just think they're kind of falling to where they should be. To me, Cam Newton has fallen a little bit. I was a little bit worried about him because he's lightly throwing in practice. He's going to play this week in the preseason game, so we'll see how he goes. I'm a little bit nervous, although I'm less nervous about him as I am Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
So other than that, I think the quarterback's just kind of fallen a little bit overall in general.
Yeah.
And but I think they're where we already thought they were probably watching our show.
Yeah. See where we thought that. Yeah. I wish that was the case, but no, it was. I think where they are now is where we like quarterbacks.
Right.
Where they were before is just the ridiculous beginning of the mock drafts where people are trying all these. Oh, I'm going to take my quarterback early this year. Right. I've probably said that every single year I played fantasy football.
Yep.
And I'll tell you how many times I took a quarterback early. And it was the first year I ever played. That was the only time. Every other year after that, no way.
Yep.
I'll roll Phillip Rivers or something like that over that.
Yep, I agree. So keep an eye on Brandon Cooks too. Probably should hit on him earlier. He's been going 2nd, 3rd round.
Yeah, he's a little too high for my liking. There's just too many weapons in New England.
We were talking about the other day on the phone, and Brady makes me a little bit nervous. I feel pretty good about most of the other quarterbacks. I think Ryan is gonna. I don't think he's gonna be the MVP. But I think he's going to put up good numbers like he did last year.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's fallen that much.
That Atlanta team's going to 7-9 this year.
Maybe, but I think he's still going to throw the crap out of the ball. I don't think he's going to be an MVP.
He's never had a good year. So
that's going to Rodgers or Brady.
Yes, it is probably Brady because he's got so many
this one makes me nervous about Brady. He's got an all new guy, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, they got this guy. They got Gillislee. They got Burkhead. They got Cooks. Oh my, how are you ever going to stop him?"
He looked like crap the other night.
Right. And first, you don't know if Cooks is going to fit. Right.
Yeah.
Brady's not the best deep ball thrower. I think he's the greatest quarterback of all time, but there are plenty of quarterbacks that throw a better deep ball.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson,
Kirk Cousins throws a better
Cousins. I mean, we can go Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. I mean, that was never Brady's strength. Brady's a 0 to 20 kind of guy.
Yeah.
A 20-yard ball, that's kind of his thing. So we don't know. Last time Brady had these kind of weapons with Moss in 07 and stuff, Brady got into the habit of waiting and holding the ball and try to go deep 30, 40 yards downfield, took a bunch of sacks. It's the reason why we lost that Super Bowl, because all we tried to do was go deep.
Yeah, 4 straight plays at the end of the game when you had a minute and 19 seconds left, just throwing it down.
You know, so I'm afraid he might go back into that. So there's a little bit. So don't if you're going to reach for a guy, you know, he's a little bit tough.
The only thing that Cooks does that I've seen so far is he does go across the middle, and Moss never went across the middle when he was here.
Yeah, right. They're different styles, but...
You know, that's the only thing I think Cooks could benefit that way.
Right.
I don't think Cooks is a pure, just straight down the field guy. I think he's an actual legitimate guy that does fit this system. Yeah. He's going to catch bubble screens, and they're going to get the ball in his hands. They're
going to try to. I'm more worried about Brady than probably Cooks.
Yeah.
Our offensive line's all banged up right now. Our starting left tackle just came back to practice. I think he's playing this week.
I know Jets fans out there are probably like, why are these guys complaining about Tom Brady right now? Because we get Christian Hackenberg.
That's a good point. Who thinks the defense is scheming against him in preseason. Yeah. But yeah, just keep an eye on that. It's just something to, keep an eye on.
Yeah.
I think it's something to it should be in the back of your mind maybe a little bit. If you're debating him or Rodgers, I'd probably go Rodgers.
Oh, I think I would take Rodgers over Brady.
But there are other people that like Brady better, so I think you should just be aware.
Well, there's a running game in New England.
There is.
So there isn't in Ty Montgomery lighting the world on fire. All those people that I see on Twitter that go, Ty Montgomery's going to have 1,400 yards this year and 10 touchdowns.
Right.
When is he going to get 1,400 yards? Like, he isn't even going to get 1,400 total yards. He's going to be hurt halfway through the year.
Right.
Because he can't handle the workworkload. He's had like double-digit carries in 2 games.
I agree.
So.
All right, guys. I know this was a long show. Thank you very much for checking it out. If you have any questions on our Jordan Reed giveaway, it'll be on Twitter. We're going to post it a whole bunch. I'm going to start putting it all over Facebook as well. That goes out next week.
Yeah, the 6th, right before the season kicks off.
Yeah, in another day or so, we'll announce the winner of the draft kit as well. So that'll be on our next show. I think that'll be on Saturday or Sunday. So check that out. We'll announce the winner of the draft kit. We'll call it Sunday. We'll announce the winner of the draft kit. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining. Check us out on Twitter and Facebook. It's underneath. And have a good night.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.